Bloomsbury Group, as they were retroactively called, were really a group of friends, writers, artists, and intellectuals who first came together in the beautiful Bloomsbury townhouse of Vanessa Bell and her sister Virginia Woolf in 1905. The Bloomsbury Group were really thinking about how to come up with a new way to authentically live and express themselves. They wanted to really overturn the Victorian moral, social, and artistic structures which had dominated the previous century and come up with a new, authentic mode of expression.
This group included Vanessa Bell's sister, Virginia Woolf, Duncan Grant's cousin, Lytton Strachey, the economist John Maynard Keynes, Clyde Bell, Leonard Woolf, all sorts of different people. They were really influential in their different fields. So we're sitting in the studio of Vanessa Bell and Duncan Grant here at Charleston in East Sussex. They were both extraordinary artists. They were right there in the forefront of the avant-garde in the 1910s. They were working with Roger Fry in his post-impressionist exhibitions. They were co-directors of the Omega workshops, and they were really interested in sort of new ways of looking at art, but also making art and design.
They were part of a formative group that introduced modernism to a wider British audience.
They came of age just as the 19th century was closing, and they were this generation of privileged and entitled people. They wanted to puncture that pomposity of the Victorian era, and they did that in all their different fields.
Another assertion that was really important to the Bloomsbury Group was the breaking down of the boundaries between so-called high and low art.
The work is accessible. It doesn't have complicated intellectual framework. You don't need a degree to like a Bloomsbury work.
They wanted to turn away from the seriousness and formality, this museum and gallery setting.
Charleston was a place where the artists came to during the middle of the First World War. Duncan Grant and his lover at the time, David Garner, were both conscientious objectors, so they needed to find work of national importance or get sent to prison. Vanessa Bell found them a farmer that would employ them, found them a house that they could move to, and they came here in October 1916. Even though they were doing this extraordinary physical labour, they were still decorating the house. So the first thing they did was to have the house whitewashed, creating this blank canvas. They had no idea that they were going to be here for the next 50 or 60 years, but they created the environment that they wanted to live in. And they started decorating, and they were painting underneath the windowsills, on fireplaces.
They very much wanted their art to permeate every element of their lives.
After the end of the First World War, they kept Charleston on, and it became this beautiful summer home. And they would invite their friends to stay as well. And it would always be a place for work and a place for lots of fun, lots of parties. You can imagine laughter sort of ringing out across the rooms of Charleston and into the garden. Charleston was always this safe space. There was open conversation. There was no sort of judgment about anything to do with sexuality. There was lots of gossip about what was happening in London among their friends. It was a place for an experimentation in living.
This really permeated every element of their lives, from their romantic relationships to their artistic output, all the way down to quite inconsequential decisions. Virginia Woolf talks about how they were going to have coffee at 9 p.m. as opposed to tea after dinner.
Charleston became a historic house museum in the 1980s. Duncan Grant died in 1978 and the trust was formed in 1980. It took 6 years to renovate the house and open it to the public. And we've been running really successfully as a historic house museum for all that time. Recently, we've really expanded the kind of work we're doing. So in 2018, we opened new exhibition galleries, which gave an opportunity to really explore different areas of Bloomsbury and also contemporary artists' work, bringing those ideas together and presenting Bloomsbury in new and exciting ways.
Sotheby's are really excited this November to be presenting a selling and loan exhibition, Radical Modernity, from Bloomsbury to Charleston. This is the first time that Charleston have partnered with an auction house in this way, and they will be lending some amazing pieces from their permanent collection, from paintings to furniture to ceramics.
It will be fabulous for visitors to come and see those works and to get a taste of Charleston.
We're really pleased to be working with Kim Jones, Artistic Director of Dior Menswear, on the curation of this exhibition. Kim was recently announced as the Vice President of Charleston and is a major collector in his own right.
He is a huge fan of Charleston. He came here as a child on a school trip that sparked his interest and his love of Bloomsbury. So Bloomsbury and Charleston have this real appeal to contemporary audiences. Part of our mission is to get Bloomsbury and Charleston out there and to bring people to us. We want everybody to experience this place and to learn about the Bloomsbury Group. By working with different organisations such as Sotheby's, we are able to reach even wider audiences.
This November, we are looking forward to providing an insight into the groundbreaking Bloomsbury Group and the incredible works that they produced at Charleston.